Well, good evening, welcome back to Rangers Radio. Livingston 0, Rangers 0. So it was nearly a Bridgeman. Join myself, Fox. You're on the panel as the one and only Fox. Evening, Fox. Give us your thoughts quickly.
Evening. A very dire display for me. Not helped by the fact that there was only one team that wanted to play football, you know.
You're right. For the first 5 minutes, I think they were trying to waste time, slow the ball game down, even with multi-ball, getting the wrong ball. But let's part them and let's look at ourselves, Fox. What did you see as a positive and how many negatives did you see?
There wasn't many positives, what you could call. I thought in the first half, although a lot of people will probably disagree with us, that Jack and Kamara were the best players on the park. I thought our lack of movement up front was due to both Kent and Hadji dropping deep and leaving Morelos with about 4 defenders. There was never targets available to hit up front. And people will say it's lack of creativity by Jack and Kamara. But if you can't see a player, you can't pass to him, mate.
All right, I get your point. Actually, in the first half, we probed a bit. We actually put in a couple of decent balls, one for Barner. We put in some crosses. I thought that the boy Hadji, I'll say it again, mate. The jury's back in, mate. Yeah, and it's a no for me. The jury's in, and it's a no, mate. If that was a 21-year-old Scottish boy, mate, he'd be out of the squad, I think. Got to be honest with you, just my opinion, you know.
I think he's still young at 21.
I'm not saying
Still got a bit of growing to go.
He can't learn the game or whatever. He's obviously got some talent, but the game passes him by. He's Scottish footballer. You know he's going to go down and they're going to take it off him when you're going to give a foul away. Anyway, this could be interesting. So we'll open up the lines. You think so, mate?
We can indeed.
So the number, if you want to join us, is 0141 356 1972 or joins at Skype at rangersradio.online. Maybe be brought into the call by Fox, who's treble tasking now. Fox, too slow, mate. Too many touches for the centre halves, and at times Jack and Kamara back playing next to them. And then when we do play the ball up, with no forward line, there's too big a gap.
Aye, agreed.
I think we've been joined by our first caller. Jim, is it? I think it's Jim, is it?
Aye, mate. Well, listen, I'm probably not going to get myself a ban off here for the way I'm feeling after watching it.
Just watch your
No, understand. Absolutely shocking. I'll tell you something, by the way, blame the players all you want, but see him sitting in the dugout, mate. Wherever the finger gets pointed at, because he's clueless.
I'll tell you what annoyed me today, Jim. I mean, with the greatest respect to the young lad, bringing the boy Brandon Barker on, right? Now, we know the boy's not the greatest player in the world. He can be effective when there's grass to run into. Well, where was he going to run to?
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Michael Beale, question his tactical nous as well. If he's the guy that's looking and watching and studying, mate, if he thought that Brandon Barker was the decision. And I'll tell you another thing. We need a goal when we take Morelos off. Don't get that neither.
Absolutely shocking.
You know?
Yeah. I must say, we never had a leader on that park. Not one leader. Jack, nothing. Tavernier, nothing.
Too many touches, mate. Too many touches. Kamara, Jack, Golston, Tavernier.
Where are they actually doing? Where are they doing? Where are they doing in training? Honestly.
I don't know. We tried to play football, lads, without a doubt. But when you've got best party, 9 men in the 18-yard box, what else can we do?
Oh, come on, Barry Way. Don't even go there again with this nonsense, Barry Way, trying to blame other teams. That team that we are up against today were put together with a pittance compared to half of that. We're, Barry Way, don't forget, we're ploughed millions into that. I'm going to get myself a ban here. I'm probably better getting off. That's some nonsense, Barry Way. The same crap every year with them. Oh, there are 10 men behind the ball. Whose fault's that? Whose fault is that? It's not my fault, it's not your fault.
We've got to change our shape, Fox. I think that's the point.
Oh, joking. Honestly, you don't got a clue, Barry Way. He's clueless.
If you're going up against we've got to be more offensive, and you might have to change your whole shape, because They were basically playing. I would say it was basically. It was like a 5-4-1 if it was that, and it might have been a 6-3-1. And the one was lucky if he was up the park. So we know we're not got any real threat, and we're still playing with 4 defenders. Is that the point?
There was one near the end there. I don't know if you noticed it, the one near the end, mate. I think Golston played a long ball to Tavernier. He played a long ball to Tavernier, and we had two players heading back towards Gordon Golston. Watch it again if you get a chance.
Anyway, we'll be joined by another caller. Evening, caller.
Robert.
Evening, Ox.
How we doing, Robert? Give us your thoughts, mate.
Oh, Ox, I've got to be honest. I'm absolutely disgusted with that performance. That Hibs mob can go and take 4 off him, and we can't even create a chance on goal apart from Big Borna Barisic' free kick. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm totally disgusted with that performance today. Once again, the players have proved what they did last season. We're full of losers in that team, and that breaks my heart to say it. We're full of losers in that team, mate. And I cannot believe that Livingston have lost all their best players like Kelly, like Halkett, like Lyndon Dykes wasn't playing today, and yet we cannot create one chance against them. What's going on here? Come on.
Can't disagree with you, mate.
I know. Can I say one thing?
Yes,
see, before getting further, can I say one thing? I'm only doing one player pass match today, and that's Big Connor Golson, who's been a bit of a whipping boy. Big Connor Golson at least was trying to do things like long passes. And can I say one thing other? Yanis Hadji, he's living off his father's name because the guy's rank rotten. He's done nothing apart from that Braga game. He's done absolutely nothing, mate. And see if that guy's in our team next week, Gerrard has to be questioned. That Yanis Hadji has done absolutely nothing.
I'm actually surprised he appeared after the first half he had, mate, at half time. Especially with 5 substitutions, yeah. I don't want to be just the boy, yeah. But what I will say is I'm surprised he appeared in the second half, Robert. Yeah, I thought he was so poor, and I think he has been so poor in most of the games. It's a different football up here, and the flicks and turns and all that. You have to take the ball in and make your passes count. I think we've been joined by Albert. I think it's Albert.
Hi, you're right, Albert. It's me. How you doing, pal?
How we doing, mate?
Remember it's Sunday. I'm a bit disappointed like everybody else, know what I mean? And we can get into a rant and rave about it. A rant and rave, but it's just one of 1,000 games I've already seen before, know what I mean?
It's like a bad movie you'd watched in the old Sunday afternoon when there was no telly on years ago, mate, and you've watched it again.
I know, and you're sitting going here, I've seen this before. I mean, if I was the Rangers playing today, I'd have switched away after about 25 minutes because I'm sitting saying, going, I've seen this before, we've all seen it before, and we all know if we don't change anything or try something different, we're going to get the same results. You know what I mean? We're at least going to struggle, and that's exactly what happened. We just struggled.
What did you make of the other night? Barker on, mate. What did you make of that?
I mean, that park's no there for that type of player.
All the way they were set up.
Aye, and it wasn't even there for Kent as well. You don't on that park. You don't run with the ball. You just don't run with the ball because it's no conducive for dribbling and running. It's just it's sticky. It's horrible. You can barely hold your feet on it at times for quick turns. So I'm saying, why are we putting these type players on this park? Hadji, Kent, Barker, these type players, you're going, that's not their game. What you want to do is push right up on their back 4. Push everybody, you see your forward line, push them right onto the back 4 and just hit long balls in behind them. That's what you do in that park. Because their defenders were woeful, absolutely woeful. They're taking big mad swings at the ball and it's going way up there, right above their head, or they're mishitting it and they're jumping in front of it and it's hitting after them. They're rotten. Look at what they're doing and play your game accordingly. But we don't. We just keep playing that same football. And I'm not blaming the park beaters, and I'm not blaming their set-up beaters. We beat us. We always say this. We beat us. That was just clueless. And the midfield that we're looking for.
The tempo was wrong. The passing was short. The movement was wrong. We never changed our shape.
The midfield that we're looking for. The midfield that we're talking about the other night. I was saying Jack and Kamara. They're playing well. I agree with Fox. They're playing well. for what they've today. But see, when they're trying to, in games like that, that's no their game. That's just simply no their game, guys. You're looking for a class midfielder to spot the pass and ping the pass. And see, how many times did Jack try to hit the ball through and over the defenders? I mean, I counted about 4 or 5 times in that first half alone, and he hit the defender every time. I'm saying this is where we're lacking that bit of class. Going to ping the ball over, it goes out of the defender, and Barisic has made the run, never gets to him. Kent doesn't reach him. Morelos makes a run, doesn't reach him. That's why Kamara and Jack are no good enough for that type game. They are in other type games, and I thought they played well.
In a game of football, because that wasn't a game of football.
Can I come in there? Can I come in there, Rox?
We've got another caller coming in. On you go, mate.
Right, can I come in there? And I totally agree with Alberg here. Can I say something? Jack and Kamara are definitely not good enough, and that's only my opinion as well. If we really have been serious for 55, I'm sorry, Ryan Jack I like him, right, and he's all right as a squad player, but I'm sorry, he can't pick that. Him and Kamara cannot be that decisive pass to open up our defence, and that's only my opinion, and I agree with Alberg. They're not good enough, guys. That's what we need to get. And see, the heart of your team is in your midfield, your Pedro Mendez's, your Barry Ferguson's, and you know what? I'll tell you one thing. See that with Yanis Hadji, I would rather have an Ian Ferguson all day long, who's not got as much skill as Yanis Hadji, but you know what? I'd rather have an Ian Ferguson in there than a Yanis Hadji all day long, mate. That's all I'm saying.
Cheers, Robert. Listen, we've been jumping in our caller, evening caller.
How you doing, Oxter? All right? You what can you say today, mate, that the boys have already says? The negatives for me were you're looking for a goal and it takes Alfredo off. How not take Kamara off and put the boys on and keep Morelos on? I couldn't get my head around that with Stevie G and that boy Barker. I can't believe he was my first substitution. Hadji, non-existent, waste of clays, really is. You're saying the jury's out, now it's in. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I can't see. I know the boy's got potential. I know he's young, but we need all hands to the pump this season, and that boy's not going to cut it. It really isn't.
I think we're broke to model the clays for Castor, mate.
Aye, and for the lassies, but that's about it. But the positive for me was a clean sheet. That's all I think you could take for that game. I got that played no bad. But Stevie G's got to take a bit of responsibility. I couldn't believe you're looking for a goal and you take Morelos off. How do you take Kamara off? No,
what disappointed me is the couple of things, and I'll go to Jim 115 with this. The fact that Hadji appeared at half time when you've got 5 substitutes. And also, when they did make the first substitution, it was Barker. I couldn't understand. Nothing against Barker, but if he's only set up for counter-attacking football, he's not going to... When they're all back at the 18-yard box, he's not going to create anything. There's no grass for him, or a plastic for him to run into.
Flicks in that box. We had you tried a couple of wee flicks and stuff like that today, but that's not going to wash. That's all right then, all that, you're 3-0. You know what I mean? There was nothing there. There was nobody to unlock anything today. But the way they played today, you've got to take it into consideration. They had 10 men in their box.
If they call that, if they're happy with that.
And it's not an excuse. And I'm not getting that. Rangers should be taking care of themselves. It's nothing to do with that wee team. We know they're going to set up like that. But I just couldn't get my head around taking Morelos off when you need a goal. I thought he could have took Kamara off and kept Morelos on. And played Roof and the big Gittin fella with Morelos to try and get a goal. And we need to stop trying.
He might have took him off for the booking. He's scared he's going to do.
I think it was because of booking.
That's a fair point. I understand that, Jim, but Morelos.
Sweet choice for Blackpool.
On you go, Jim.
Oh no, I never said that.
All right,
there was another caller. It's Tosh.
Tosh.
How you doing, lads? You all right? Sweet choice for Blackpool.
All right, mate. We've had better Sundays, mate. How are you?
Aye, we've had better than that, haven't we, mate? Aye, you're right. I've got 2 words for you. Utter frustration.
Aye, well, that sums it up nicely, Josh. Yeah.
Because the way I see it, they were trying too much to get that perfect goal.
the wee chances at the end there, even that's 1-2 pass too much. Just get the goal and get out. I said it earlier on. Just get the goal, get the points, and let's. Because these are sort of games going to be win ugly. And to try and get that second pass and keep going. You must believe it yourselves. You want to kick it early.
There was a few things I wanted to kick. Albert, lack of shooting right up to maybe the last 10 minutes.
That's it, mate. The ruffle. All this season I've been thinking it myself. I've not said it out, but I've been thinking myself, I'm saying, that forward line are awful wasteful. I mean, they're trying to, as that boy said, they're trying to score the perfect goal all the time. You're like, why isn't any of you shooting? Why is no making that wee half yard and then whack the boys away? It's a shot. You make the half yard and then, no, I'll beat another man or I'll have another pass and you're going to... You've already made the space. Shoot. No,
the big boy Yitton was guilty at the end. He was showing about 5 years doing about the next minute with 3 guys with him. He should have got his shot away for it.
You're right there. You're right, mate.
They must be getting coached.
He's a fly up there.
Can I put this to you then? We're set up, Brian, but how much did we miss that street player, Big Stevie for the drum? How much did we miss that street player?
100%. 100%. That easy guy would have maybe opened something up for you today. 100%. You missed him. Tannery ball player, that's close control. You needed that today. There was no space in that park. And he was a big miss for us today, Ox. A big miss.
Because he's going to do things and maybe beat players that, and of course, with people around him, he's going to maybe take 2 or 3 out and make things happen. Yeah?
Many times have we seen it. He's beat a player and curled the ball into the bottom corner. So that's what we're looking for today, unfortunately. I don't even know what was wrong with the big, and obviously he's got a niggling injury somewhere, but I know he was kind of uncomfy with the game last week, but I mean, could he have not played today? Could he have not played through the pain barrier? We need everybody, we need all hands to the pump. We really did miss him. You're totally right, Ox. And
would you question one of the pundits on Rangers Radio who thinks Haji's better than Aribo?
I don't even think that's worth talking about. If that boy can't see now, you know what I mean? Just definitely, there's no comparison.
That boy Haji, Stevie, I think that boy Haji, he's a yard slow. That's what's up with that boy. He's a yard slow. And he's got a quick mind and he knows what he's doing, but he's a yard slow and everybody gets to him. And he's also plays himself out the game. He keeps coming deep with square on taking the ball. You're it. You shouldn't have half turn with the ball coming to you so you're away. He plays himself out the game. But he should be working with a sprint coach, I'll tell you that right now. He needs to get a yard of pace for somewhere. I'm telling you right now.
Can I say this? Did any of you see a lot of anger on that part of the team?
No.
A bit of anger, a bit of come on.
Frustration.
I've not seen anger. I've not seen anger on that Rangers team since guys like Ian Ferguson, Alan McCoy, and Ian Durant and all that. And that's the whole problem with our team. We used to have winners. All our team, like Richard Goff, like John Brown, like David Robertson, like Andy Gorham, and you know what? We have not got one of them in our team. And it's all right blaming our captain, James Tavernier, and saying he's not a captain. Well, do you know what? Ryan Jack's not a captain, and neither is Aribo and guys like that. We have not got any captains. We've not got any leaders in our team. And I'll be honest with you, guys. We've not got any leaders in our team, and that's what really frustrates me.
Mate.
I've said it I've been banging the drum on the show for a wee while. We need an enforcer in that midfield.
I don't think it was an enforcer we needed today, Stevie. We needed somebody to supply and make passes.
I know the day, but we didn't need it. We didn't need a butter.
Can I ask a wee question here, Rob? Can I ask a wee question here? See, when we're playing against a team like Livingston away, and even Livingston at Ibrox, do we really need Ryan Jack and Glenn Kamara in that team? Why did he not play Morelos? Gerrard knew that they were going to have 11 players behind the ball. Gerrard knew they were going to have 11 players behind the ball. He knows the way they're going to play the day. So why did we have to have Ryan Jack and Glenn Kamara? Why did he not start with Morelos and Eaton up front? Because bring that big boy Eaton on for the last 20-25 minutes. I'm sorry. Why not start the guy alongside Morelos and have a right go and go for them for the first minute? Why wait till the last 25 minutes and bring guys like Brandon Barker on, who you know are not going to do anything? Scott Arfield should never have started that game because he's a squad player and he's no good enough to be a squad player. And I'm sorry, guys, Brandon Barker, Scott Arfield, and all these types of guys are not good enough to be pulling a Rangers shot on it. And I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. They're not good enough, these guys.
We've been joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Ox. Evening, guys. Ox, I'm not being funny. That's your first test, and we're only into the fourth game. See what Big Stevie says there. How much anger did you see in that part? I never seen MD. No. The wee guy there that was on there got it bang on. See, as soon as I seen the team, because I tried to get on before and I couldn't get through, but see, when I seen the team, you've got starting with Arfield, Kamara, and Jack. Well, I'm sorry, you could have took any of the three of them off there, and he's just did an interview to say that he's blaming it on not having enough quality in the final third. Are you having a laugh? He could have had the best three strikers in the world on there the day and they wouldn't have scored. Because he's midfielder getting the ball, and Albert was right there. See, big Goldson, I criticise Goldson more than MD. I had my hands up. But see the day, at least the big guy was trying to go forward and pass balls through. Our midfield were drastic. The three of them play the exact same way, and they don't have any craft. Hadji, for crying out loud, he was mince.
What you'll see with that Blue Star is it'll be stats. You'll get stats, and they'll say they made so many passes, and they made 97% complete.
Goals at one
time. It's goals we want. Yeah. Listen, we've been joined by Lawbear. Evening, Lawbear.
Hello, gents. How you doing?
All right, mate. Yourself?
That's frustrating.
And that's a word that's been used a couple of times already. Frustration. And so there's other words trying to be used with F's in them as well. But
it was one. It was a game that you're never going to be able to play free-flowing football that you want to play. We look back at a certain point. I'm breaking up.
Aye. Albert, question for you. The manager's culpable.
I'm breaking up.
You were
guys.
Oh, he's gone. Albert, the manager, we know how they're going to set up. Surely we should be more offensive.
Oh, absolutely, man. He's got to hold his hands up with that. He got that completely and utterly wrong.
Especially I don't mind it.
I don't mind them getting it wrong, because that's fair enough. Everybody can get it wrong. But after 25 minutes, you must sit and look at that game and go, that Livingston are woeful. And I mean, Jimmy was right. They are absolutely woeful.
Not announce a football. Not announce.
But and you're looking to go 25 minutes. He must go to himself. Look, this is not going to do. This slow passing, square passing. We're not going to get anywhere. We need to push up on them. Push right, make them defend. We weren't making them defend. I mean, the keeper had one save, 2 saves a day.
We didn't have a shot.
Second half.
The reason why we look so bad, Aribo gets the ball in midfield, and even if he loses the ball, he at least takes the ball on and takes players on. Our players today, Ken, Hadji, whenever they go to try and take a player on, what do they do with it? They end up turning their back to him and passing the ball backwards. Nobody's direct and keeps going. Big Aribo doesn't do that. Aribo takes players with him 2 and 3 at a time, and then if he doesn't shoot his cell, he passes the ball to somebody else to shoot. We're shooting today. It's as if they're flipping taking 22 touches to try and shoot.
We'll start. We've enjoyed the Lawbear again. Lawbear. Speak now. You're back.
Well, Bell's passed.
Stevie, we're going to get a lot of criticism, and rightly so, because it wasn't enough in each where their goalie was man of the match, even though he did have a fantastic save and might have got it half the bit. It was just it was like defence against attack, and we'd no ideas, mate.
None.
No, definitely no. Ox, see, for me, I mean, see if you're a neutral today, you'd have turned that game out. See if you're an English punter watching that game, you'd have turned it out. It was crap. It was just one team, wave after wave, trying to find a way through. Our keeper could have went for a pie and Bovril in the first half. It was absolutely dire as a football match. But listen, there's no excuses. We know how they're all going to set up. We need imagination. We never had it today with Aribo not being there. And that's the bottom line for me. Stevie G's got to put his tail in the frame. He got it wrong. He should have kept Morelos on. You're leading a goal and you're taking your main player off, your main striker. Come on, man. You take one of the midfielders off, any one of them. You know what I mean? They're all and keep Morelos on. To me, there was a few boo-boos today, but the biggest thing for me the day before a ball was kicked, the two things that before a ball was kicked, I went, that's no good, was the big man not playing an Ebo, and I was looking at Arfield playing, and I was going, oh, I don't know. I don't fancy that at all. And honestly, look, let's not get carried away. We've dropped a couple of points. We've kept a clean sheet. I know we're all angry, but let's not fall apart at the seams here, guys. We never get beat, and it was a training session at one point. We just couldn't get the ball in the cobbles, and it's ourselves to blame, nobody else. Our manager got it wrong. We're key players that could have opened up, made a few passes. We're there, bigger evil, and we need to learn to shoot instead of walking the ball into the net. But we do need for future, we do need an enforcer, a hard man. There was no anger today. I never seen any anger, frustration. And see all this carry on players having to jump into the stand to get balls and all that. But needs to look at it still. It really does, man. Shocking.
Can I come in there and ask Stevie a wee question? Stevie.
On you go.
Stevie, right, Stevie, can I ask you, now, I'm not sure from my manager said, because we all love Steven Gerrard and we all want Steven Gerrard to succeed. But Stevie, can I ask you a question? Do you see similarities with Steven Gerrard and Graham Souness? They're dead stubborn and they won't change?
No changing.
I see more similarities between him and Mark Wahlberg, mate.
Right, well, do you know what, Ox, you're totally right, mate. I see it as well, because if Plan A doesn't work, we need to work on Plan A. And do you know what? We should have changed that the day. He knew that what Livingston were going to do, and he should have started, and it's all right in hindsight saying after the game, but come on, he should have started with that boy Itten, because he needs a run, no coming on with 25 minutes to go. He should have started with Itten and Morelos, because I don't care what MD says, we did not need today Jack and Kamara. And it's the same at every game at Ibrox. We're not playing Barcelona or Man United at Ibrox. We're playing the Hamiltons and the Kilmarnocks and the Motherwells and they're all going to do the same. So did we really need Jack and Kamara at Ibrox? Well, I'm sorry, guys. Or even away from home in Scottish football? No, we don't. No, we need something different.
No, but he got it wrong today. Gerrard got it wrong today. He should have kept
big style, mate. Big style, mate.
I think it was Jim that says, I know, after 25 minutes, or it was Blue Star, I'm not too sure. Surely after 25 minutes, you can see it was the world.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Exactly. And see Farhaji to come back on the park as Ox says. I just love that. Do you know what I mean? It's a total waste of clay today. Total waste of clay.
Oh, sir, why on earth did they bring on Brandon Barker? Can anybody answer me that? Because it wasn't work weekend, so why bring Barker on?
Oh, mate, I don't.
Who's a far superior player to Barker?
I don't understand why you would bring somebody on who needs grass to play in when there's no room in.
Exactly.
I don't get it. So, anyway, Albert was ways, but he's dropped to it again. Albert, we're top of the league. Are we going to take stock?
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. This is a wee wake up call. This is one of these games that you go, hold on a minute. The first three games are the first three games and done really well and go to the results. But this one here is really, you need to sit and go, hold on a minute. But this has happened before. We lost a league last year. Well, we didn't lose a league last year. We got voted out a league last year, but that's neither here nor there. We lost that with the turn of the year day games with that type of performance against that type of team. So if we're going to carry on again, doing this again, we may as well pack up and get home now, because we all see it coming. If we can see it coming, he must be able to see it coming. So get it sorted. We need to take stock. And I'll tell you another thing. That boy Arfield, as far as I'm concerned, that boy Arfield played himself right out of contention.
Get rid of him.
Well said, Albert. Well said.
Sorry, Albert. I think we were talking about the crowd being there the other night. It could go either way. It went either way for us today, because I believe if there were Rangers fans in that part of the day, we might have sneaked a wee goal at the end there. I think the crowd would have made them, you know what I mean, sherry them that much. They would have, because there was no urgency. There was absolutely.
Stevie, we only started shooting in goal there with 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes to go. Before that, we never even had a shot in goal, bar the free kick. That's just not acceptable. When is Stevie G going to learn? We're in his third season, no offence, but he doesn't seem to be able to change it. And the players that he's bringing on as substitutes, I'm sorry, it was the exact same as what we already had on.
You've got to look to change your shape sometimes if you.
Of course you do.
You're bringing substitutes on, you know. We just to put one left winger on for another left winger on, and then they've still got 6 men behind the ball, and you've got to look to do something. Maybe a turn beside Morelos. It's all
right saying we're only 4 games into the season, but let's be honest here. We'd have an absolute brilliant opportunity to put the pressure on that other mob, who's the only mob that's going to blooming push. So we're only 4 games in, and let's be truthful here. You can't dress this up any. We failed. We failed against a team that don't even come out their own half.
And many times
that's just not acceptable. And he's doing the same things. He's not learning anything, Ox. He's done the same things the last 2 seasons, and he's still doing them. When we're talking about bringing in other players, he's brought in other players, but there was no change today. The engine room's the exact same, bar one big player coming on and who wasn't on. So we're all crying out because Aribo wasn't on. Well, I'm sorry, one player isn't good enough in my squad. All the rest of the midfielders he's got are all the muchness. That's down to our manager. He's got to be able to, whether he changes the shape or whether he changes players, he's got to be able to change it. And he did not change it again.
Can you come, Robert?
And Stevie, how many? You're right, mate. How many times have we seen the same picture? And listen, guys, I'm like you guys. I'm disappointed and I'm hurting tonight. But we had an opportunity, right, to go even further against that lot over at East End of Glasgow. We had an opportunity, exactly. And I'm really disappointed. Like you guys, I'm hurting, I'm disappointed, and I'm angry. But how many times over the last 2 years have we seen the same picture? And of course, we don't want to slag our manager because we love him. We love him as being our manager. We want him to succeed as our manager. But you know what? He does need to wake up. He needs to wake up and learn. Forget, we're not playing in Europe. We're not playing Braga. We're not playing Porto or Feyenoord. We're playing Hamilton, Livingston, and all these kind of a team. And we need to play to our strengths. And I'll tell you, see the day, I cannot believe that lineup. And see me put Scott Arfield on for the start. And I'm like you, Stevie, I'll be honest with you. Guys like Scott Arfield and Brandon Barker, they are not good enough as squad players, never mind playing in the Rangers 11. And I hate to say that about any Rangers player. I hate to say that they guys are not good enough. Your Jordan Joneses and all that. They're not good enough, mate. They're not good enough.
In fairness to Ox has been saying it for day one about the boy Hadji. It's Ox's baby, that. He said it by day one. I don't see what's happening with this boy. The jury's out. And see the day the jury was in, and I totally agree with him. It breaks my heart to run any Rangers player down into the ground. This is the seasons of all seasons, but we need to win this league this season. And I never seen anybody getting upset today in that park. Every game's a matter of life and death, and I never seen that on that park today.
Stevie, that boy's living it. You're right. You're right. Stevie, that boy's living off his father's name. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest. He's living off his father's name. You get the name Hadji and the Rangers fans will go, oh, what a name. Well, do you know what? With Ronald de Boer, and what a name that was, a European Cup winner with Ajax and played for Barcelona, and he might have came to Rangers when his knees weren't quite the same. But you had a guy like Ronald de Boer that came and he actually done it. He actually done it for Rangers. But see, Hadji, I'm sorry, mate, he's too lightweight. He's not got anything about him. And I worked with a guy that's a Liverpool fan, right? And nobody, the guy said to me last week, see that Hadji, he's your best player. He's like Kenny Dalglish when he played for Scotland. He's 3 moves ahead. Well, do you know what? I'm sorry, Hadji's no free. And that Hadji's no 3 moves ahead here in the Rangers player. He's no half the place where he was. Yes.
We need somebody in the middle of the park with a bit of heart who's very, very strong. We've got too many players that are lightweight. And as Stevie says, where was he shouting on the part of the to show drive and to show grit, telling them to get out there and get into them? We haven't seen that at all. How many? We're getting out of the same movie as upstairs says, again and again and again. And this is the big time. Well, that's us 4 games in, guys. You can't dress it up any. We failed today. We failed big time. We should have been 12 points in front against a team that didn't even try to score. That's the bottom line, and we're not good enough to break them down. That's terrible.
How many players?
It was defence against attack, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. How many players today, Ox, did you see with their horns in the air wanting the ball? How many shouting screaming for the ball? Give me the ball. I want the ball. Give me it. Exactly. There was nothing. There's none of that.
One at a time. One at a time.
So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for when the chips are down. Seeing you're winning 4-0 and everything's coast and wee flicks are coming up, that's all great and dandy, it's brilliant, excellent. But it's games like this. We kept warning them. It's games like this when it's tough and you're no things are no going your way. That's when you want to see the guys with the bravery. That's when you want to see the guys with the horns up, screaming and shouting. Give me it. I want it. Give me it. Instead of that, a lot of players were hiding today.
Here's a question. I'm going to take this to Fox and then I'll go to Stevie with it. Right, Fox? We took the tempo out of the game on Wednesday night and a lot of people criticised and some people thought it was the right thing to do because you're going to look forward to the next game. Has that been a mistake? Has that just rolled in to that game? Is that where we've got a problem? Is that where the problem lies?
I'm a believer in playing your best side all the time until there's an injury. And there was an injury today to Joe Aribo, and that's what caused the change up front. But a good Rangers side should be able to play every game for 90 minutes. You play your best team at all times. But I still think that, guys, as a support, we're hypercritical. It wasn't as if we got a beating today. I'm just the way I'm on, mate. I just don't think it was a total disaster. We just never scored, and that's what it's all about. And it'll not change my thoughts on Rangers next week either.
I think
Fox, it's all right saying that. See, this season, there won't be many points dropped to either side. There won't be. So every point's critical, and we threw them away today.
That's 2 bad points. Lawbear's ways now. Lawbear.
Hello, can you hear me?
It's a bit better, mate. Carry on.
Sorry. I was just home and I was in between the Wi-Fi and the 4G. It was absolutely bloody nightmare. How you doing?
Everybody's in a good mood, I think. All bear. Everybody happy.
It's all fun and giggles on here.
Do you know what? I could listen, seeing the start of the game, looking even at the pitch when I first see the TV screens, I was like, this is going to be a bloody nightmare. There'll be teams that will struggle on that pitch worse than us this season. I agree. I only heard little snippets of what's been talked about that were devoid of a bit of creativity. I think we missed Aribo. I think we didn't get enough out of the players that we expected to get enough out of. Substitutions were made as almost a desperate attempt today. But I think we just need to look at the long game here. You know, going to Livingston, getting a 0-0. A win is the type of win that might win us leagues, but there's a long way to go. I'm not going to get too disheartened by it, but I think I
I defy anybody to go and play in a pitch like that and get what they wanted at the end of the day.
Hibs won 4-1 there last week.
Hibs went and scored 4 goals against them last week, on it.
But what you need to understand is they don't play the same football against Hibs as they do against us.
They'll play a 4-4-2.
What if Hibs won 4-1? That's nothing when they play against the Old Firm. Right? It's a totally different kettle of fish when they play against Rangers. They will go defensive. They'll hold their line. I don't care if Hibs won 4-1 against them. All I'm caring about is the fact that I expected the game we were going to get, and unfortunately we didn't get the result we wanted. Do I think the team lineup was right? As good as he was going to get. I don't know what the Rebo problem was. I think he might have made a bit of a difference, but we need to take this result and we just need to move on. It's a draw. We've still got games to take an advantage, and we just need to push on.
Bo Star, as these plastic pitches get in with heat?
Absolutely no doubt about it, Oxshare. I'll give you, I know he's your favourite player, but seeing the first, I think it was in about the sixth minute of the first half, 6 minutes in, there was a kind of 50-50 ball, but it was made in Hadji's favour. The big guy with the blonde hair, I don't know what his name was, he was running for a good bit away. Do you know Hadji never even put his foot up to go for the ball? Now that tells me something. I've also seen it, dare I say it, who I thought he has been good in the last 3 games. Even Barisic today, there was 2 or 3 of them, you've seen 50-50 balls. I'm telling you, Ox, there's no way they're going to, there's a guy that's went and passed away. You imagine Tam Forsyth pulling out a 50-50 ball. He would have took the ball and the referee with him. The difference is we're lacking in heart. We're too lightweight, Ox. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the team, even the last 3 games that we've won. I don't see MD in the middle of the park that's a midfield general, if you call it. We don't have MD. We are far, far too lightweight. There's too much of a sameness about them all, honestly. I'm not getting throwing in the towel. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is, in games like that, you need grit and determination. And I'm sorry, I never seen that for anybody today. I just didn't.
Albert, is the park getting with heat?
Absolutely, mate. No doubt about it. It's not as much in our heat as we keep playing it right. There's a certain way you play on the parts, and we've not learnt the lesson. I said before the game that we've experienced this now, so I don't see us, we'll be all right. But then we reverted back to type today, and I was like, here we go again. You just don't run with the ball in the parts, I'm telling you. The parts are not conducive for that kind of football.
But when you pass the ball, you've got to pass it with the right weight on it. How many times were we short?
You don't pass it in front of people, guys.
Them, yeah.
Guys, you don't pass it in front of people as well. You pass it to them. Because once it gets momentum, and it's a sticky part when you're running with it. But we've seen you're passing on it, and if you hit it too hard, it flies away for some odd reason. I don't know why, but it does. But we should know all that. I mean, we've all played in A parts. We all know what it is. It's like playing in Red Ash. When you start running with the ball, next thing you start to chase the ball. You've not got it under control. You're chasing the bloody thing.
Speak for yourself, mate.
But you see what I'm saying? They see that. They see we're not playing well and nothing happens. We just they keep doing the same thing. And I was mad that we didn't make the defenders defend. You got to make them defend, guys. Turn them. That's the whole thing. Put the ball out of them and turn them. Let them defend it. Instead of that, we play in front of them. And any team, even Diddy teams, if you play in front of them, will make it hard for you.
Fox, before we came here, made a point to me that we ended up, particularly in the first half, we felt we played a 4-5-1, Stevie. And then I'll go to, I think Josh is still there. Yeah. 4-5-1 because Kent and Hadji were coming that deep, because Jack and Kamara were going that deep. And then Arfield was trying to break the lines, but it was unsuccessful. So we ended up playing a 4-5-1. So we've got to look at our system. Stevie?
Aye. Listen, all Bell says that sometimes you've got to go direct, play the high ball. Fight for it, hope it falls to somebody. But just playing it out wide to the wingers cross it and it gets knocked out. It's for me, I mean, I know I was listening to the boy talking about the pitch and all that there. Guys, these boys are getting 30 grand a week. They should be able to play anything. I know it's a big fact. I mean, I played in the old red gravel-ish parts as a wing. I played in... you adapt. You're a professional, you adapt.
Many of these surfaces that we have within the complex.
We've got 3, mate.
Well, we've got 3 at Murray Park.
Right, they've got 3 of them. And I'll tell you something, they're probably a better quality than that one today. mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to a week before a game, but you know you're going to play on that surface, that you do your drills, you do your passing moves. But I mean, that's how my finger was getting pointed directly at him in that dugout tonight, by the way, mate. Absolute shocking.
I agree with you. I agree with you. He hasn't. I totally agree with you. We're going to have the same story as we've done the last 2 seasons. We knew, every single one of us knew what kind of game we were in for the day. He knew what kind of game we were in for the day. And he still played the same system, the same way, when it's not been successful in the last 2 years. Why?
Can I ask something?
You've got to ask yourselves, guys.
Where was his comment at the end of the game regarding the quality up front? Is that what he said?
Exactly. That's his point.
He's saying the quality up front. Well, who bought them? Who bought them?
Correct.
Did you think the players might actually be able to deal with it? Do we expect we're going to deal with it? Because these are players that are in our team. These are players that are in our squad. We should expect this like that to deal with a pitch like that. I'm not going to put all the blame on the manager every time that we have a bad result now, because we know the manager we've got, right? The fault needs to come.
You don't agree, but you got it wrong today. I'm not wanting rid of it, Brenton. Definitely.
I don't want it either. I want him to deal with what's in front of him.
What about Stevie? I said he never. Let's put it this way.
He got it wrong.
He's set up, right? And you might make that mistake, but what happened was we waited to about 60 minutes behind us before he changed, and that's what he got wrong.
Changed it, exactly.
At the same time, everybody on this station is gaining pelters last week at 3-0 up for making 4 substitutions.
But guys, can I ask a question, and I'm maybe sticking up for the managers here? Is maybe the manager's hands tied because he can't bring in the quality player he wants to bring in because he's not got the same budget as we Popcorn Keith has over at the East End of Glasgow. Is that maybe the problem?
No,
maybe Stevie. I know, right? I know we're playing Livingston. And listen, by the way, the unwashed haven't won at Livingston in 2 or 3 years.
Who cares about him? I'm not interested in him. We're your football club. You can't keep on harping on about him.
Right, no, I'm not harping on about him, but I'm just saying to you, the Rangers fan, is maybe our manager's hands have been tied because he's not got the same budget as he's got. That's what I'm saying to you. Yes, he's making mistakes.
Yeah, information he's got in front of him to shoot a game. Unbelievable, by the way, man. Seriously, man, you don't have to pull your head out your posterior sometimes, man.
No, listen, do you honestly think if your manager had the same budget as him, he'd be signing guys like Glenn Kamara, not so much Kamara, he'd be bringing guys like Greg Stewart and Jordan Jones and all these kind of guys in? I don't think so because he's not got the same budget, and I'm not making excuses. Yes, he's made mistakes. He makes mistakes just like he made mistakes when they beat us 2-0 at Ibrox. He made mistakes, right? And he made mistakes today. So I'm just saying.
That thing is, he's not learning from his mistakes.
Robert.
I know, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Robert,
yes, Ox.
We're only here to critique the game, right? We're not here. If Gerrard gets any criticism that's coming his way tonight, he deserves it. Yeah?
Yes, of course he does. Yes, of course he does. I agree with you.
There's some people on here like myself who are fans of Gerrard, and other people. I think Jim 1-5, the jury's out for Jim with Gerrard, right? So everybody sees it slightly different. But what I will say, his mistake tonight is no his starting 11. His mistake tonight is waiting for 60 minutes. And then when he does bring on a sub, he brings on Brandon Barker, who needs grass.
Yeah.
He thought that was going to change the game. He might as well have brought Edmondson on, went with 3 at the back and pushed our whole team up.
Correct.
Right, so can I ask you a question? See what doesn't work out for Stevie Gerrard. See what doesn't work out because we all know if Stevie Gerrard doesn't win the league, he doesn't win a trophy this year, he's out of job, right? And that goes with the territory, right? As a Rangers manager, right? So see if it doesn't work out for Stevie Gerrard. What frightens me as a Rangers fan? Is who do we bring in? That's the question. And I'm not saying Stevie Gerrard should go because I don't want him to go, right. And I know he's made mistakes. Who do we bring in, guys?
When you go, Lobber.
3 games into the season. That's exactly what Ox is saying. 4 games into the season. I don't want to be talking about who do we bring in if we don't succeed.
I know. You want him to deal with it in front of him.
Let him finish. On you go, Lobby.
Sorry, mate.
Don't be talking about what happens if you win the league. We're 4 games into a 38 league game season, right? So let's just start thinking about the next game and game after game. I understand that everyone's freaking out because actually for the first time this season we've dropped 2 points. Let's not freak out, right? We started this season and pre-season ridiculously well, right? We've gone up to a hard place playing a ridiculous pitch, which we knew before we started the game was going to be hard, right? I know other teams will go up to Livingston and play badly. I don't care about Hibs winning, whatever it is. There's going to be
bottom line is we fell away at the end of the last 2 seasons.
To think about Steven Gerrard's job. I'm not going to think about Steven Gerrard's job when he's dropped the first 2 points of the season. It's ridiculous and it's out of order.
Question for you, Albert. How's the league table looking?
I know, we're sitting top. You're right, it's true. We shouldn't be talking about replacements for Gerrard. That's not right. That's just simply not right. We can critique this game and be upset with this game, but let's isolate. Let's isolate it to this game. I mean, what I'm talking about is this game. You can talk about Hadji and his long term if we want, and what he needs and what he doesn't need, whether he's making it, whether he's not. That's all fair and dandy. That's fine. That's just football. But don't go overboard. We didn't play well today. There's reasons here, there, and everywhere, and we've all got good points and opinions, and they're all right. There's never a wrong opinion. But at the end of the day, it's only 2 points, and there's a long, long, long way to go yet.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for the sprint and the call. Thanks to every one of you for coming in and managed to keep your cool because passions are running high. Disappointing result today, but can I say to you, mark these words, to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly on our little Rangers radio show, please keep it going for the Rangers. That means we stick with them through thick and thin. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night. What time, Fox?
10:05.
Oh, put my heart. I'll make an executive decision. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. With the panel with myself, JFK and Bridgeman. Looking forward to hearing you. It should be interesting. Thanks for listening. Bad result today. Take it away, Fox.
There's a pub in Green Street where all good proddies you will meet. So come down here and together we'll have a jar. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town, and the bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Tybrook's Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or Londonderry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.